With hurricane season underway, we are already seeing an uptick of storms earlier than usual. Here in the Low Country, it is essential that we are prepared for whatever the summer storm season will bring. A huge part of that is making sure your home will continue to have power even when there is severe weather. I'm joined now by the owner of Wingate Power, Billy Wingate, to learn all about how you and yours can stay safe this season and how to pick the right generator for your home. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. You know, this is such an important topic right now. With hurricane season, we know we already saw such a big storm already so early in the season. Forecasters are predicting a very active hurricane season.
Yes, they are.
I know a lot of people have maybe moved to Charleston for the first time. Maybe it's their first time living in a coastal area like this. So what do people usually expect during these storms?
Well, you're right about that. There are a lot of new people moving here to this area, and they're not used to these type of storms, so they don't know what to expect. And when you get a lot of customers, they have a lot of questions, and sometimes they don't have the questions, they don't even know what questions to ask because they've never experienced this before. So when they call us, we direct them to the website to go ahead and fill out the form to get the free guide and set up an appointment with us so that they can do a little bit of research before we get there, so that for questions they may not have known to ask yet. And it kind of educates them a little bit on what to prepare for. And most homeowners leave Charleston during a storm because of no electricity. I've found out recently, through being in this business, and leaving this peace of mind to be able to stay home and in your house if a storm comes is a lot better than being in traffic trying to leave on I-26.
Definitely. So how do generators work if we don't know already?
Okay, well, with the generator is tied to your house panel and also in line with your meter. It senses the 120 voltage from your utility company. When that goes away, the transfer switch will tell the generator to crank up. The generator cranks. It runs for about a minute or so and warms up. Once it warms up, then it'll transfer the load from the house to the generator. Once that, when the power comes back on, it's going to sense the utility power again, and then it's going to the transfer switch will switch back over to utility power, but the generator is going to run a little bit longer and it's going to cool down, and then also it keeps running in case there's a surge and the power goes back out. It won't have to repeat the cycle. And before we even have that generator in our house, let's talk about installations. I know to the trained eye, installation looks a little bit different for Wingate than usual. Can you talk about that? Yeah, so my background is high voltage. I built power plants and high voltage systems for over 32 years with federal contractors. So I bring that knowledge and experience into the residential department, so we use quality equipment, quality installation, and it looks the way it needs to look, and it's not just thrown together. So this is built to last. The customers are spending a lot of money for these generators, and we want to make sure that they run when they're supposed to run, because they don't run all the time.
Yeah. How do you know you're picking the right one? What does that process look like?
Well, what it is, it depends on the needs of the customer, their wants and needs. Some customers want whole house, want everything, like wash clothes, do laundry during a storm, and some people want to do the necessities, refrigerators, air conditioning, and so forth. So once we meet the customer and get with them and evaluate what they have and what they want, then I can size the generator for them.
You have a free guide that is a great resource for people. Can you talk about that and how we can find that?
Absolutely. Go to wingatepower.com, download the free guide, and it'll give you information based on installation, what the process is, sizing the generator, and basically you're doing your homework before I get there, so you'll know what to ask and what your needs are before I get there, and I can help you funnel everything down and kind of pinpoint exactly what size you need and what's going to meet your needs.
Again, this is such an important topic, especially here in the Low Country. We see a lot of storms around here, so it's important to be prepared.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing all about this.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course.